Hey, welcome to an episode of Chad's Beer Review. So this is the last beer that I got in my last beer drop box. In fact, that was probably going to be the last time I used that service, but we'll see. Anyway, this one is from a brewery out of New Mexico, Marble Brewery, and it's just called Cerveza Mexican Style Lager, 5% ABV. Doesn't say anything about it on the can other than it's good until about Christmas of this year, so we're in the window. All right, so I pour it into the hourglass-shaped glass that I got from that chemical engineering homebrew competition, and yeah, it's kind of a banana skin yellow. Definitely got a haze to it. Doesn't get much of a head, just like a pinky size, and it's mostly dissolved. I know it looks orange on camera. It's almost like yellow, like this microphone covers here. So, has this kind of fruity aroma. I was not expecting that. Usually when you think Mexican lager, you just think like it's going to smell and taste like corn chips. Actually, I think it's like, there might be a little bit of sourness in here, which I don't think is intended. Yeah, I mean, it does. This is not what I would associate with like a Mexican lager aroma. It's just, I don't know what that is. It's very, I guess I would describe it as very lemony. I mean, maybe it's just all the yellow is like incepting a lemon aroma in my head. I don't know. Let's find out what it tastes like. Cheers. This should be interesting. Yeah. It's sour. Not sure if it's supposed to be sour. Probably not. Tastes like infection. Yeah, that is sour, and they don't mention it as being sour on the can, and I looked it up on Untapped. No mention of it being sour. So to me, this is probably a quality control issue. I will say I mean, if they marketed it as this kind of reminds me of like Urban Artifact sour. I mean, it's definitely kind of that clean lactic acidity. And yeah, like I said, kind of a lemony kind of flavor. It's almost like a goes without the salt, or like a Berliner almost. I wonder, like maybe they screwed up. Like this is not the like they put the wrong beer in the wrong container. Like maybe they do make a sour, and they just put it in these cans by accident. I have no idea. Although it wouldn't surprise me coming from beerdrop.com. In fact, this is the nail in the coffin. Like I know I'm not using Beardrop anymore after this. If you see any links for Beardrop in my description, those do not get me anything anymore. I mean, as a sour, it's okay. It's kind of lemony. Clean lactic acidity. I think there's like maybe a tiny little bit of like a flaked maize in there. It's odd because like there's so many beers, like if they're really poorly made, they kind of taste like a lager. Like it might have DMS or something, which kind of gives it like a corny aroma and flavor. And this is a lager that tastes like an ale. It's like really bizarre. I can't even like wrap my head around it. Pretty light bodied. It's not very carbonated, as you can see. I mean, it didn't pour to much of a foam. And, in fact, if it was infected, that wouldn't surprise me. I have another can right here. I should just break that out and see if there's a difference. The problem is if this can tastes completely different than the other can, then I'm gonna have to like start this whole review over from scratch. So, although worst case scenario, I have to drink 2 of these instead of 1. Although I might just dump it. All right, let me try this. All right, so I got the other chemical engineering homebrew competition glass. Let's see if this other can, I mean, if it's from the exact same batch and they were filled right next to each other on the canning line, I imagine that they'd probably be pretty much the same. Let's see what we got going on here. I mean, pretty much the same color yellow. This one's definitely more effervescent than the other one. Carbonation just streaming. Look, the head's actually hanging around. Okay, this one actually does smell like a lager. Has like a little bit of a corn. I mean, I would say this one's not super aromatic. Whereas like this one has like that lemony smell. This one has like a very neutral smell. So let's try this one. Take two. Cheers. Tastes pretty much the same. It's kind of like lemonade. It's almost like Mike's Hard Lemonade. Like it's really that lemony, that sour, and I would say like it's not tart. So I don't like they didn't market this as being sour or tart or anything like that. So this to me just reeks of infection. In fact, that's probably why it was on beerdrop.com, because a lot of the beers I've gotten off Beer Drop have been old. So I think Beer Drop is just getting old beer or contaminated beer, and then for like cut rate prices, and then they're selling them to chumps like me, like as a specialty niche beer from the other side of the country that you can't get. I would say like this one is slightly less sour than this one. Yeah. It's not god awful, but neither of these is what I would think of when I think Mexican lager. Like, I just don't like what's exactly so Mexican about it. Usually when I have Mexican lager, it tastes like those corn chips you get like at a Mexican restaurant. You know, I love those. But to me, this just tastes like somebody's homebrew that got infected. Yeah, so I mean, I would say this is tolerable. I probably could finish these, maybe. Well, if I had some like really salty chips or something, like that would help. But to just drink this by itself, just to drink it, it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge. So, yeah, this is not good. This is really disappointing. So I'm gonna go. I feel like 2 would be like way too harsh. Like 2 is like where you can barely stomach it. I can tolerate this, and I've always said a 3 out of 10 is tolerable. So, yeah, 3 out of 10 for the Cerveza. And like, what a boring, bland, unoriginal name. Cerveza is just the Spanish word for beer. They couldn't come up with a more creative name than Cerveza. So, yeah. I don't know if it's the brewery or Beer Drop or what, but yeah, this is... So far, I thought the Post Road Pumpkin Ale was bad, but this is definitely worse. So, contender for the worst beer of the year right here. All right, if you watch all the way, you're awesome. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys for Cider Saturday. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it. Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Review.
Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.